Hi everybody, Mike with Enviroscape LA, and I come to you with a sense of pride, a sense of satisfaction, a sense of knowing that I've made a difference. Not just, it's our whole company. Today we made a big difference in the lives of what I hope are going to be millions of Americans and especially Californians. There's a company, there's many companies out there, water companies, that are actually paying people to take grass out. Now, I know that if you've been on this planet for a good amount of time, you probably grew up with the grass, white picket fence. That was the American dream, to have grass. And now the water districts are actually paying people to pull the grass out and put native plants in. And believe me, I'm the first to tell people to do that. However, if a person is dead set on having grass, we're in the United States, and if you want to have grass, well darn it, you should have grass. My spin on it is that you should have grass, but just have grass with a very efficient watering system. And if you can find a grass that doesn't take a lot of water, well, so be it. Now, one of the reasons why the water companies are asking people to put in native plants and native gardens rather than grass is because grass typically comes from other countries and it sucks up a lot of water in the countries that they do come from. So you couple that with the idea that Southern California typically doesn't have a native grass, or so people thought. Well, the mega drought that's happening now in California, sod companies were savvy to this a few years ago, actually before it happened, and they realized that in the event that there was going to be a mega drought, the first thing to go was going to be sod, lawns, grass. And guess what? They were right. In their wisdom, some sod companies actually started developing native grasses. They've always been here. But the difference between a native grass lawn and your typical lawn that we've traditionally seen over the years that we've grown up and lived our lives is that a typical lawn that comes from another country will actually grow from seed to harvest within 30 to 60 days. And then, you know what? Time is money. Now, there is a native lawn, but it takes way longer to grow. It actually takes from seed to harvest, to where you can actually put it in the ground. It takes about 2 years. So a few years ago, there's a few companies out there that actually started growing native lawns. The ones they planted by seed 2 years ago, they're actually starting to harvest now. And I want to present to you one of these. It's a native lawn that you can cut. So it's kid-friendly, it's great for dogs. The main difference is it takes way less water, you save over twice the water savings of a traditional lawn. Now, what we did to make the water savings even greater is we installed subsurface drip irrigation, copper shield technology by Rainbird. And what that is, it's little tubes in the ground. Actually, here's one right here. Little tubes like this. Every 12 inches, we went through, and we have a little machine that kind of pulls the pipe through. And this was a 2-day job, about 1,000 square feet. But the point is that we actually laid the drip irrigation down. Now it gets better than that, and you're thinking, wait a minute, with subsurface drip irrigation you have no water loss due to evaporation, so you're going to save a ton of water there, and it's drip irrigation. The whole goal of irrigation is to get water at the roots, and so the water where it comes out of the pipe is at root level. This is about 2 or 3 inches down. Okay, you couple that with the fact that it's native grass, and you're going to have a grass that's going to look fabulous with just a minute amount of water once it's established. Of course, today we installed it, so we're watering it in really good. Every grass, including native plants, need to be watered in the very first day. So we just installed it today. If you're thinking about native grass, native lawn, you can contact us because there's not a lot of places you can buy this stuff in Southern California yet, but we're working on that. The subsurface drip irrigation, I encourage you to look into the Rainbird Copper Shield Technology drip irrigation. Fabulous. It's the best one we found out there. In fact, it's the only sustainable drip irrigation. What I mean by that is you don't have to use chemicals to keep roots out of the pipe. It does it because it has a little piece of copper every 12 inches. So There are companies out there that are telling you, terminate your turf, get rid of your lawn. Water companies will pay you to get rid of your lawn. You know what? You don't have to. The things I talked about today about native grasses, native lawns, they are reality. We're putting them in. We work all over Los Angeles. Subsurface drip irrigation, that's a reality. The rainbird. Now, if you're thinking of doing the subsurface drip irrigation, a few pointers I'd like to point out. You need clean outs, you need the air relief valves, you need the right kind of, we use the 0.6 gallon per hour rainbird copper shell technology drip irrigation. We have the special valves that are made specifically for drip irrigation. You got to know a little bit about these things. You can take a class or you can hire us. The main point is we just want to see people saving water. But saving water doesn't mean that you have to compromise on beauty and having fun. Part of the fun of having kids or being a kid is playing football on grass, on real grass. And guess what? Grass also adds to the environment. Nothing feels as good as real grass. A lot of people are putting in this plastic carpet. It looks like grass, but you ever try walking on it a hot day? Interesting thing about that, real grass, if it's 100 degrees outside, will actually cool the temperature around your house down to 80 degrees under the ground. If you have synthetic turf and the temperature is 100 degrees, it'll warm up under the ground to 140 degrees. Talk about cooking your tree, right? So if you love your tree, you want to steer away from the synthetic stuff. Nothing takes the place of real grass, and guess what? It gives us oxygen. How important is oxygen? Well, it isn't life, but it's in the top 2. So anyway, these are some helpful tips and ideas to help you to muddle through these hard times that we're having. No doubt about it, Southern California is undergoing, we're in our 4th year of mega drought, and the prediction is there's an 80% chance this is going to go on for 10 years, and we're only in year 4. There's a couple of studies done on that, and that was their conclusion. That's a good news. Bad news, it could go on for 30 years. A 50% chance of that. So University of Arizona and Cornell University both came out with independent studies. So anyway, do what you can to save water, but if you can save water and not sacrifice quality of life, that's everything. Mike with Enviroscape LA signing off. When you think sustainability, think Enviroscape LA.